Hey, everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. Listen, I'm not one to talk about Collision very much, but there was a very interesting match that took place on this show. It was Athena taking on Harley Cameron in the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament quarterfinals, and the winner was going to get Mercedes Monet. As expected, Athena advances, which sets up in Boston on Wednesday night for Dynamite. Athena versus Mercedes Monet, which is a dream match, admittedly, and we could have easily set up in a different fashion. And I'm here to tell you guys, I already talked about it when they set this up a couple weeks ago, seemingly leading into the Owen Hart Cup tournament. I already think that they've botched another women's dream match in this division because no matter what result happens, no matter what result happens, a couple of things could come out of this. Number one, Mercedes could end up winning this whole tournament and, going on to London, or not London, to Texas, because I get so used to All In being in London. Mercedes wins. She goes on, tries to be the belt collector and beat Tony Storm. Or one could screw the other out. Whoever wins this match gets screwed out of in the next match, and then we ultimately get Mercedes probably beating Athena and continuing to collect more titles as well. So the bottom line of this is it's not going to end well in any way, shape, or form based off what AEW has done recently. They don't really care really what the fans want. They really, and they'll pay attention. They'll say, yeah, Mercedes is doing great. And it's like, listen, just because she has 4 titles doesn't mean a damn thing. Okay. Like, and the reason why I say that they have already botched this dream feud is you didn't need to use a tournament to showcase your best women with a woman in Mercedes who already has a championship. You could easily build this up as who is the best TBS champion, ROH champion. You could easily made it about that and just gotten to that point, gotten to that conclusion. You didn't even need to start it at this point. But the fact that you're utilizing this tournament to get to that point is a big problem for me because there are so many other ways that you could tap into this story. They've got history in WWE. They've got history all over the place. Like, and these are two of the most identifiable women. And Mercedes has claimed that she's one of the greatest champions that AEW or Ring of Honor has ever seen. Meanwhile, Athena has been hidden away for 2 years and is on like a 708 title reign. So we had to use Billy Starks to get her in, which was admittedly kind of cool. But hey, the other part of this, we're doing this in the semifinals, guys. We're doing this in the semifinals. Granted, I like that Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter are on the other side. They get showcased, but you guys are trying to present this as like this big dream match, and we're doing it in the semifinals, not as a championship for somebody to win this. Like, there's so many better ways that they could have gone about this. They're desperate. They're hanging on to try and do something crazy. And to me, it would be really surprising if Mercedes lost in her hometown of Boston on Wednesday. It would be really surprising if Mercedes lost. And there's no title on the line. So if Athena took a loss here, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And you could also say the same thing about Mercedes, but Mercedes also hasn't lost in AEW. Athena has when she was on the main AEW roster before going to Ring of Honor. So there's that element of this, but still, to me, I said this when this was initially teased. I was like, this feels way too soon. We're 3 months out of this thing, and you didn't need to go to the lengths that you did to put these two in the tournament. And if you were going to do that, put them on opposite sides of the bracket so they either screw each other out of it, and lead it to that. But now we're getting this match, admittedly, on what they're building up as a big show because, hey, we have to hype up that they're passing WCW as the longest Turner show ever. So we got to make that be a big deal. So admittedly, it is kind of cool that they're going to do this but given what this has been built up to be, the first match that they're going to be doing this, we're going to do this on free television. Are you kidding me? Really? Like, this is an admittedly dream match. And even if you try to do it again and do it at All In, like, I still kind of think I know where this thing is going. A lot of people have been under the impression that Athena might be the one to beat Mercedes. I don't think that's going to happen. If this ends up being the match at All In between Mercedes Monet and Athena, because based off of everything that has been told to us, the It's not the match is not between these two. Whatever the follow up to this will be, if there is one, it's not going to happen at Double or Nothing because the winner of this match is going to Double or Nothing to take on whether it be Jamie Hayter or Chris Statlander to determine who's going to win this tournament. Um, so it's not going to happen at Double or Nothing, and then that leads us to the next pay per view, which is All In. So if they're going to do a follow up match, it's going to be a winner take all match with both the TBS and the Ring of Honor Championship. And also, hell, you may put all Mercedes championships on the line. It's probably just going to be TBS and Ring of Honor. And Mercedes is going to win it to keep her belt collector gimmick going and continue her pursuit of passing Jade Cargill for the longest TBS title run in company history, which would take it to, I think, out to around somewhere in October, I think is what the calculations were. Bottom line is they're completely botching this. They're completely botching this. Like, this should feel so much bigger than a 2-week build, starting a tournament, and then having these two face each other, not even to win the tournament. It's just to advance to the championship at Double or Nothing. And that championship isn't even going to happen for a fucking month. So what are we accomplishing here? What are we accomplishing here? This is like they're running out of creative ideas, and there's talented people that are being involved in this. And some of them have too much creative say. Mercedes. I think Athena should have been showcased a lot more, and just giving her this quick build, like really only the diehards are the people who knew her from WWE or from her independent career are the ones who really even care. You haven't even given us an opportunity to really, invest in this. That's the problem that I have with this. If you actually build these things, then things will actually matter. That's my issue. And that's why, I would much rather, even if Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton has been just a pile of dog shit in terms of a lot of things. They've done a good job in the last couple of weeks of at least making this thing genuinely interesting. And they've built it over a course of several months off of something that was a prize. Here we are. We're going to set up potentially what is this feud off of a semi-final match in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Like you could have easily had these two meet in the championship for this you could have easily had them meet in the championship round at Double or Nothing. And that could have been what they could have done. And, maybe you could have sorted it out there. I know it would have been maybe a little bit convoluted, but that's what AEW does. So listen, like I knew this was going to happen. It'll be interesting to see how this thing gets sorted out on Wednesday. Again, to me, Mercedes, I think, is going to win. And then it's going to come down to whoever comes out of the Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter match, which I think is also happening on Wednesday. I'm not sure about that, but seemingly it would they're hinting at it being Chris Statlander heavily as the other option if they weren't going to go with Mercedes because it seems like Toni Storm had a promo on this show where she basically made fun of all of the combatants in this tournament, but Chris Statlander. So that was a little bit interesting. So we'll see if that's the way that they go about this whole situation. But to me, like there was a better way to handle what was ultimately one of the bigger dream matches that they had. And again, par for the course with Tony Khan, he just blows it out quickly. It doesn't even give it a chance to build or marinate or even get some semblance of a story. We're going to use a first match to potentially get to a second match. That shouldn't be how these situations go. In very rare cases, for lower level matches, but this is Mercedes Monet versus Athena, which is supposed to be two of your bigger female stars in this company. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, you Mercedes stans who want to just yell and scream at me. Listen, I can take it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys soon on another edition of Off the Top Rope. I'll see you guys. Bye.